James Butler Hickok. Folks nowadays, well, they all like to call me Wild Bill. Now, I'm going to start after the Civil War. I did fight during that war. I was a scout and a spy for the Northern Army. But when the war ended, I was just like everybody else. I needed work. So I took off looking for work. I ended up in Springfield, Missouri. Now, Springfield, more just a stopping point for me, but I did find a card game right away, and if you don't know anything else about me, surely you know that I ain't passing me up a good game of poker. Now, in this game, I played with a fella by the name of Davis Tutt. Davis, he was a Southern boy, and of course I fought for the North during the war, so how we got along well enough to sit across the table from each other, I have no idea. Man, that guy really did not like me at all. But we managed to get along for a couple days anyway, and well, I ended up owing him about $35. Now, $35 being quite a sum of money that I didn't have, and Davis really wanted some collateral, well, I didn't know what I was going to do. All I had was an old pocket watch that my daddy had given me, and I wasn't about to give that up. But Davis, he was relentless. He wanted something to ensure him that he was going to get his money back. So, reluctantly, I did end up giving him that pocket watch, but I told him, I said, now Davis, don't be going around telling everybody how you took that from me in a card game, because that ain't how it happened. That watch means a whole lot more to me than $35, and I'm getting it back. Well, the very next day, here's Davis Tutt in the streets of Springfield, swinging that watch around, taunting me with it. Oh, I yelled at him across the town square, told him to knock it off, but he didn't want to listen. He yells back at me, I yell back at him. Then what's he do? He pulls out a gun and he takes a shot at me. Landed right at my feet. Well, if you know anything about the West, you don't take a shot at somebody unless you expect one coming right back at you. And I don't miss. I lined up at Davis 75 yards across that town square with my .36 caliber black powder pistol. Bam! One shot right through the heart. Well, the authorities there in Springfield were none too happy with me shooting a fella down their streets. They arrested me. They told me that I was liable for the death of Davis Tutt. Well, I said, what about self-defense? He shot first. Yeah, all the witnesses on his side said he was just funning around. He wasn't really shooting at me. You know, I'm quite sure he doesn't think it's too fun anymore. Well, the judge saw it my way. Self-defense. I was acquitted there in Springfield, but I did figure it's about high time I got out of town. Now, as I'm leaving town, I ran into another fellow who just happened to be at that gunfight, and he saw the whole thing. He was a writer by the name of Henry Nickel. Now, Mr. Nickel, he wrote for Harper's Monthly. He wrote a lot of them dime novels out on the East Coast. Said he wanted to do an interview with me. Said the people out there, they needed a hero of the new frontier, and, well, I guess he was going to make me it. Now, in this interview, I told him some stories about myself, and, yeah, maybe I exaggerated just a tad, but not nearly as much as he did. By the time he told that story, he had me killing over 200 people. Yeah, can you believe that? It's more like less than a half a dozen at this point. But it did make me famous. I went from being James Butler Hickok to being Wild Bill Hickok, the Prince of the Pistoliers, the greatest gunfighter the West had ever seen. And while the fame was nice, they kind of put a target on my back. Every guy that had a gun wanted to be the guy that shot down the greatest gunfighter. Well, I had to be extra cautious from then on. Now, still need to get out of Springfield, though acquitted. They were not happy about it, and well, I still needed work, so I took off and I headed west. So I traveled across Kansas doing odd jobs just to survive. I drove a little freight for a while, scouted for the likes of the 7th Cavalry and the 10th Cavalry. And as I'm out there scouting for them boys, well, I noticed a lot of small towns were sprouting up out there. Yeah, it seemed like everybody just kind of headed west on this big land grab, you know? Well, it also seemed to me not a lot of them towns had any law in them to speak of. Kind of gave me an idea, maybe I should be a lawman. So that's what I did. Now, I cleaned up a lot of towns across Kansas, places like Fort Riley, Wichita, Hays City, a couple more, till I ended up in Abilene, Kansas. Now, see, Abilene, it was a rough cattle town. One of the roughest there was. Them cattle drives, they'd come through there, bring all sorts of outlaws and ruffians with them. They'd shoot up the town, scare the daylights out of everybody. The people of Abilene, well, they were sure happy when they heard the great Wild Bill Hickok took the job as their marshal and was going to clean that place up. I got there, I laid down some new ground rules. Do not bring your guns to town. Certainly don't be shooting them off in city limits. But there was this guy. There's always this guy, right? Yeah, a fella by the name of Phil Coe. Phil, he was a Texas cattleman. He bought a bar there in Abilene, and I guess he had a little problem with my authority. See, I was a marshal. I laid down the rules and I enforced them. And Phil, he didn't want to follow the rules. He just wanted to argue with me about them all the time. Every day it seemed there was something new with that guy. Well, till early one evening, I'm sitting in the saloon minding my own business, winding down from a long day's work, and I hear this ruckus in the street. People are screaming and hollering. Guns are going off everywhere. I run outside to investigate. And who is it? It's Phil Coe and all his friends shooting up the town, scaring everybody. Well, much like Davis, I yelled at him to knock it off too, but he didn't want to listen either. Pretty soon we got this big shouting match going on in the street, and well, Phil reaches for his pistol. Big mistake. I'm quicker. I saw him reach for his, reach for mine, drew first, bam, I shot him dead right there. But, like I said, he had all those friends with him. They all had guns too. I'm by myself. I'm on the defensive. I looked up at them all and I yelled, "Who wants the rest of these?" Nobody said a word. Till I heard somebody yell my name from back in the alley. I turned quick, shot again. Oh, I shot my deputy, Mike Williams. Well, you guys are laughing about that. Come on now, I just shot my friend, my deputy. Boy, do you have a sixth sense of humor. Yeah, that was a bad day. I didn't much want to be a lawman anymore after that. So I gave it up. And I moved on. So I bounced across Kansas again, doing the things I'd like to do to try and make myself feel a little better. I mean, sure, I had a drink or several. But I did find good card games about any town I went to. Great ones, just like this one right over here. Who's winning that game anyway?
Not me.
Oh, Carl's winning. Sure, the house wins again, right, Carl? Now, at this point in my life, after I'd shot my deputy, my friends were worried about me. They said I was spinning out of control, wasting my life away, and well, they all wanted to give me a leg up of sorts. And when I ran into Buffalo Bill Cody, Now, I know y'all know who that is. And Buffalo Bill and our other friend Texas Jack, well, they come up to me and say, Bill, we're taking a Wild West show out to the East Coast, and we would be honored if you would join us. Well, not doing much else at the time and really needing some money, I said, why not? Let's take that Wild West show out there and show them Easterners just how wild it really is out here. Truth be told, I didn't care for that. No, some people are showmen and some aren't. Buffalo Bill? Heck yeah, there's a showman for you. Me? No, not so much. Did I tell you? It didn't take long. We got out the East Coast, started doing shows. The critics, they tore us apart. You know, they actually wrote in the newspaper that between myself, Buffalo Bill, and Texas Jack, that we could not act out a simple English sentence. Yeah, I know I should have shot him for that, right? No. I didn't need any more trouble out there. See, my friend Buffalo Bill, he didn't think it was right that I was drinking and carrying on during the shows, and, well, he took my liquor away. I'm here to tell you, it made me rather ornery. I shot the lights out of Madison Square Garden, shot a couple of extras with blanks, and started their pants on fire because I thought it was funny. No, they didn't. I'd say by the end of it all, my good friend Buffalo Bill regretted every minute of taking me with on that tour. So I saved the trouble of firing me and I quit. Oh, the West was calling me again anyhow. I had to get back out here. I ended up over there in Cheyenne, Wyoming territory. Now when I got to Cheyenne, well, I found me a card game right away because that's just what I do. I played for a couple days and in walks a lady friend, Agnes Lake. Now, see, I'd known Agnes for years, and when we got back together, it's like we never left each other. I found out she's as fond of me as I was of her, so I asked her to marry me. You know what she said? No, she didn't say no. Come on. When I tell the story and she said no, you had a 50-50 chance and you blew it. Well, she said yes. We had a nice little wedding there, and then I whisked her away on a honeymoon to Cincinnati. Now, I know I said the same thing. We honeymooned in Cincinnati for a short spell, but Agnes, she had worked there. She's running a circus by this time, and well, I had to get back out here, so I left her there and I headed back west. So I figured to myself, Cheyenne seemed like a right fine town. Maybe that's where I'll go start working on a fortune so me and Agnes can retire. Turns out, Cheyenne was not nearly as good to me as I'd initially hoped. Oh, I went on this long streak of bad luck, you see. I lost all my money at the card tables. I ended up penniless in the streets of Cheyenne. You know what they did to me there? They arrested me. They told me I was a vagrant. They told me to get out of town and not come back. Imagine that. I go from being Wild Bill Hickok, the Prince of the Pistoliers, the greatest gunfighter the West had ever seen, to the biggest bummer of Cheyenne, and they wrote that in the newspaper. Yeah. Well, lucky for me, as I'm leaving Cheyenne, I ran into another friend of mine, Colorado Charlie Utter. Now, Charlie Utter and myself, well, we've been best friends ever since I was a marshal in Hays City, and it just so happens he was bringing a wagon train from his home there in Colorado, going right through Cheyenne about the time I was getting kicked out. He pulls up, he says, "Bill, get on this wagon train with us. Huge gold strike in the Black Hills of Dakota territory. I tell you what, you come with us, I got a gold claim up there. You can work the claim. I'll drive freight back and forth, and we'll split the money 50-50. Well, being as how it was for me there in Cheyenne, that was not a hard decision to make. I hopped that wagon train with him. All sorts of fine folks on there, over 200 of them. 70-plus wagons, all filled with goods for this town right here. Now, we headed north out of Cheyenne. We spent about a week out on the prairie before we pull up at a place called Fort Laramie. Now, when we got to the fort, they were excited to see us because, well, some ladies had stopped by there and they're causing all sorts of trouble at that fort. The guys weren't getting their work done. They weren't getting any sleep at night. They were staying up all night drinking and fraternizing with these women. The colonel wanted us to get them out of there post-haste. Now, I'm sure you know at least a couple of them. Dirty M was there. No? How about Madam Mustache? This guy knows Madam Mustache with a grin on his face. I won't say anymore. I see you're here with some friends. Yeah. Well, little Tidbit was there, and yep, Calamity Jane. Now I know y'all recognize that name because y'all been starting and spreading them rumors about myself and Calamity maybe being romantically involved. Not true. Come on now. Didn't I just tell y'all I was married? Man, them rumors get back to Agnes. I'm in all sorts of trouble. Now, I should probably talk about Calamity just for a second or two because I know y'all know her very well. Yeah, it is true. She did look like a man. Oh, she definitely smelled like one. She drank like one, dressed like one. Heck, she cursed like a whole boatload of sailors. But, for all her faults, she had a heart of gold. If you had a problem and Calamity Jane was anywhere around, she'd help you out, I guarantee it, just the kind of person she was. Now, we never got to be any more than just friends, but we did have a great time from Fort Laramie to here. About another week and a half out on the trail before we pull up on the edge of town. We look down over this gulch, and it is gold claims as far as the eye could see in every direction. Heck, we started laughing, so it looked like a couple of anthills. There were so many thousand people running up and down the sides of this gulch looking for that gold. Oh yeah, gold fever will do that to you. I tell you, I had a little touch of it myself, but I just got excited. And I knew I had a working gold claim out there. I went right out and I started working it. And I worked it hard for about 3 hours. Yeah, I found out real fast that gold mining was not for me. But Deadwood, being what it is, all the people, the gold, the saloons, the gambling halls, well, it didn't take me long to find something else to do in this town. I was downtown playing cards. Charlie, get out of my chair.
No can do, Bill.
What do you mean no can do? Get out of there.
Feeling up this hand, you're gonna have to wait.
Dang it, Charlie, I can't sit here. You know it. Now get out of that stinking chair. Fine, I'll take your money and I'll take your chair, Charlie. So that 5. How's that sound? You're a lucky guy today, Jack. He's just a kid. Come on now, how about a drink for me? Everybody's in for 5?
Come on now, drink one for me. Come on, Mary, one for me.
All right, tell you what, Massey, you might as well bet them all on this one.